Hey, what's up guys? It's Cortez, and after an hour of technical difficulties trying to get this audio to work and export, finally seems to have been working now. I've never had a problem with this before, trying to use music in my commentaries, because I've done that in the past, and it's never given me an export to Movie Maker problem before. Not like this anyway. But I couldn't save it in the WAV format because every time I tried to, which is what I use for all my other commentaries, it would give me some random ass code message telling me that the storage is full, and even though I delete all of my old commentaries after I don't need them anymore, they tell me it's still full, and it's just giving me random symbols, and it makes no sense. So we're going to try this again in MP3 format. I downloaded something to add to the end of the MP3 files, did a test, and it seemed to work. So let's hope it works after this comm, because I had a really good comm lined up, and then I scrapped it out of anger, and then figured out how to fix it. So here we go again. And some kill confirmed on Express, and I'm using the M8. This is before I Prestige. This is an old game, but I wanted to do a video today, and I thought it would be a great idea to do a response to LP's latest comm. What is your favorite concert that you've ever been to? And if you've never been to one, what would be your dream concert? Well, I have been to one. I've been to two, actually. The first one was a Who concert that my dad found tickets to on the ground, scheduled for that night at Madison Square Garden. And he brought them home and he was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Second was this summer, the day before my birthday, went to Jones Beach to see System of a Down. And that was intense. Oh man. My favorite band ever, playing basically after a storm. I'll get into that. The Deftones were the opening act, and 15 minutes into their set, we got hit with a nor'easter. And since Jones Beach is an outdoor amphitheater, there's nowhere to go. You're basically stuck there, rain or shine, and in our case, it was downpour rain. But since we had nowhere to go, we had to stay there, tough it out, and it just made it that much more intense and that much more memorable. I really wouldn't trade that for any other present, because I really didn't get any other presents. Other than that, you know, then System came out after the Deftones played for an hour, and then there was a really long interval, like, because they were determining whether they wanted to even come out or not. But eventually they did. Darren gave us tons of props for sticking through basically a mini hurricane, and pumped up the crowd, and it worked. The place went nuts when they came out and started playing. I think the opening song was Prison Song, and they came out and just nailed it. But the other part of LP's comm was, if you've never been to a show, what would be your dream show? Since I have plenty of time left, I wanted to get into that. My dream show would be just so surreal that I don't even think I'd be able to handle it. It'd have to be like a weekend fest, like Mayhem or something, or Ozfest, but better. I mean, no bands that you don't like, just all your favorites. And if I had to name off my top 5, it'd go something like this. The first day, probably be a Friday, would be System, and the band you were listening to in the background of this song, video, Dethklok. I know LP, you went to a show a couple weeks ago with All That Remains, Machine Head, Dethklok, and I think Black Dahlia Murder. I love All That Remains, and I love Dethklok, so I would have loved to go to that show with you. And I think they either just played New York City, or they're going to play it in a week or so. I don't think I'm going to be getting tickets for it, however. But, you know, I'll catch Dethklok again. They'll be on tour again. Besides that, the next day would be 12 straight hours of Metallica and Megadeth. So the Saturday would be all thrash metal. Just hard, balls-to-the-wall thrash. The way it's intended to be. None of this pussy-ass rap metal. Just thrash metal. The kings of it, too. Imagine Dave coming out and playing a bunch of songs with Metallica. Oh man, I would lose my shit. Then Sunday, wrap it up with Devil Driver. And then if they couldn't play a full day, bring out Cannibal Corpse, the most famous American death metal band ever. I mean, they've been around for 20 years. I think the only bigger death metal, if you can call them that, is Mayhem. And they're from Scandinavia, but Cannibal Corpse from upstate New York, from Buffalo, and they put out a mean product. They just released Torture a little while ago. That shit is intense. But yeah, so it would have to be 6 bands then. So System of a Down, Dethklok, Metallica, Megadeth, Devil Driver, and Cannibal Corpse. But we're reaching the end here. Glad I could fit this all in. Glad I could even get this commentary out, to be honest, after all the problems I had. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you enjoyed the music today. That was Rejoin by Dethklok off of the new album, Death Album 3. Highly recommend it. Like, really, this is the best album they've put out yet. But, as always, guys, drop a like, drop a comment. I'm signing out. Stay frosty.